It changes your energy levels. It changes your happiness levels, your endorphins.
Look
You
at
feel
us
good, and you
today.
wake up and you're not exhausted, and you have even
Let's
energy
pause
throughout the
that.
day.
My name is Angelique. What was I going to say? See, I was going to say something totally different. I forgot what I was going to say. Um, it's your chica, Angelica. That's what I was going to say. I was so hyped. I was so hyped. She's like, it's your chica, Angelica. But then I was like, it kind of sounds like Angelica, and I don't want to confuse people, but that's neither here nor there because I forgot. In any case, welcome to the stream today. Whoever just hopped in here, might be Vanessa, might be somebody else. In any case, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I am trying to figure out what activity I want to get into today. And I'm also going to be listening to this Dear Chelsea podcast with Lily Singh that just got released recently. Um, and we're going to find something to do. We might just listen to this podcast and take my hair down. I don't know. That might be the move. Because that's what I need to do. And I did not bring the paper that I thought I brought. But I do want to do something artsy, so we'll maybe color something and see how we feel about that. Let's color this guy. And, or maybe we'll color this one too. Hey, hey, it me, hi Vanessa, what up, girl? So far, you're showing up 10 out of 10. I am not disappointed. I'm definitely thrilled. Okay. Um, did you know that this interview came out with Lily and Chelsea? I already kind of started listening to the beginning of it, and they're just really getting into it. Um, they're just talking about like other times that they had met up and stuff. Yeah, I really didn't bring, and I left my water somewhere. I always get like, why? Who would leave a water bottle all over? This is why I don't have a reusable water bottle, to be quite frank. I know it's so much better for the planet, and that would be a good idea. I just don't have the stick with it energy or the stick with me energy for it. But as you all know, we have to do better, madam. we do. We do. I need to stop making excuses, right? I need to stop making excuses. You're right. You're right. Um, so these are the pieces that I'm gonna be coloring today. We'll see how long it takes me. Um, and we're just gonna be listening to this podcast. I hope it doesn't get like copyright stricken. I'm not sure how it works with podcasts. Um, because this is my first time really streaming on a normal basis. So if it ends up being muted or taken down after today, uh, then you just gotta catch it live. Am I right? So let's get into it. The title of this episode is called A 100% Survival Rate with Lily Singh. And let me tell you, if you are here today on this planet listening to this, or even just in the atmosphere, you have a 100% survival rate. You alive. You made it. Congratulations. You have won a prize. Please report to the principal's office. Um, But yeah, that is what this is called. So we're gonna just get started. And like I said, we're just gonna be kind of chilling. Feel free to chime in, Vanessa, if you can hear it. I'm gonna be turning this down this way anyway. There we go. There we go. And if you can hear it, then go ahead and chime in. And yeah, today's gonna be a little bit longer stream, I think. I really want to start getting that time in and like kind of building that muscle. So I'm gonna be staying on as long as I can today. And yeah, we'll see what happens, Captain. Gonna be doing that same kind of color pencil watercolor technique. Ooh, this is a cute.
Out the day, it's a great feeling because you feel like you can almost.
Oh, Lily was talking about how she lost 20 pounds and she has so much energy and stuff.
Because now when I walk up the stairs, I'm not sweating.
Yeah, I'm sweating, but for other reasons. I'm not really sure why. I'm always sweating.
Maybe it's because you have a joint in your mouth.
Well, that doesn't really make you sweat. I mean, from somebody.
I'm trying to be relatable with drugs. I don't know how it feels.
I know. I was just about to say, have you ever smoked a joint? Who sweats when they smoke a joint?
I only had two experiences. One is I got really happy.
Sweats when they smoke a joint.
And the second
You
time
should
was
have been with me. I would have never let that happen.
when I went to your tour, you gave me an edible. And you told me to take half of it.
And did you?
I took 1/4 of it.
And what happened?
I felt nothing.
Okay, well that's because that's like 1 milligram. But anyway, if you want to get high again,
I do.
If
I'll
you
text
ever
you later.
do, I will arrange what you're gonna take.
Okay, amazing.
I am the
Everyone
best.
says these words to me. You should know.
Oh, they do?
Snoop Dogg was also like, okay, I'll get you high. I'm like,
Yeah,
you are
Snoop-
not getting me
Snoop
high,
Dogg- Let
sir.
me tell you a story
Mr.
about
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg came to do my show once, and the building that we operated the show out of smelled like marijuana until the next fall.
Yep. He came to my show, and the green room was basically a hot box situation. And then on the way out, he just took a poster off the wall of me and took it home.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, he's amazing. But I was like, sir, you will not be getting me high.
You know who also has great weed is Wiz Khalifa. He has the best weed.
I feel like I would die.
Oh,
Yeah,
I would
we were
believe
once at a
that.
dinner, and Shania Twain
I
won.
believe
We were also
that.
Okay,
smoking a
you're
joint.
famous.
And well, it was my dinner that I was filming for Netflix, so I'm not name dropping because it was an actual TV show. So shut it down. It was Shania Twain. I think I've told this story on this podcast, but Shania Twain, Jill Scott, the guy from Imagine Dragons, and Wiz Khalifa, and Shania Twain. I smoked one hit of it, walked into the bathroom in one of my guest rooms, and couldn't find my way back to my house. I was like, what room am I in? And when I came out, I was like, Shania, here. We passed the joint to her, and she's like, oh no, I don't touch the stuff. I'm like, you need it more than any of us. You better fucking smoke this now.
Yeah, my first experience was horrible. I forgot. I was convinced that my tongue wouldn't fit my mouth anymore. So I was high and I was like, and I couldn't remember to put my tongue back in my mouth. It wouldn't fit. In my brain, it wouldn't fit.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Cannabis isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
That
I'm
is
not
so
just take
true.
vodka shots. I'm fine with that.
Catherine, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm
That's so
very
funny.
great.
Oh, wow. Sounds like you're about to fly back.
That sounds scary as fuck.
Yeah.
That sounds
I
so
see that.
funny. You
I
know,
go,
it's one of those
this is
hindsight
great.
things, I'm sure.
I'm feeling very great. And they go, ah!
Yeah,
That's how I
I'm feeling
fly
happy. It's like sweater weather finally.
I know. It's so nice that it's not so hot.
I'm
I
gonna
hate it.
pause on that one. This sweater weather is a lie. It was really hot today. Not that I don't like the heat. Not that I'm not a fan. I'm just saying it was pretty exceptionally warm today for November. That's all I got to say about that. In any case, onward. We all know Lily is the heat queen, so she's gonna be like, schmur, no, buffering, please hold. But how is it in North Carolina right now? Is it
Okay,
pretty
I'm
nice?
wearing a sweater and a jacket. Chelsea's wearing a t-shirt and a thong.
I'm just
Yeah.
wearing a thong. Yeah. Thank you.
I got to wear like vampy lipstick. It's like fully fall, or I'm making myself believe it's fully fall, even though it'll probably not be 90 this weekend.
I like have people who take seasons
Mm.
seriously, especially in LA where there are none.
yeah, y'all are really hoping for the season.
I was on the East Coast and I was like, we were in Maine, and I was like, oh, the smell of the sea, like that is my like home, you know, that is my special spot. And like fried
Bless me.
clams and just being on the water and by a wharf and eating, and I was like, oh, the East Coast and the leaves were changing, and I'm like, I love it here. And my boyfriend was like, oh my God, you are totally like, you have this energy about you that you feel like I could see it. He's like, this is your spot. I'm like, yeah, the East Coast is my spot. Anyway, but that's why I live in Los Angeles. So what do we have on tap for today, Catherine?
We have a theme of major life transitions, some career changes, engagements, or maybe broken engagements, and coming out or opening up to family. It's a lot.
Y'all really catered this to me, huh?
We
Stay
did,
up
Lily.
here, folks.
Well, yeah, exactly. We want to curtail our episodes to our very special guests.
I appreciate that so much.
Great. And let's just take a quick break, and we'll come back with some callers.
Hey, Mario Lopez here, and I partnered with Got Milk to promote their latest campaign, encouraging Californians to never doubt what they love, just like I never doubt my intuition. With misinformation everywhere, even the most wholesome things are being called into question. Got Milk's encouraging you to stand by what you love, like real milk.
That's true.
a delicious
I
drink
saw,
packed with vitamins
we're
and
not gonna
nutrients.
let
Visit
Got Milk
gotmilk.com to check out
get all this airspace. I was watching Phil DeFranco, and he was talking about Matthew McConaughey and how he was feeling uneasy and unsure about getting his children vaccinated. Like, he got vaccinated, but he wasn't sure about getting his children vaccinated because he's like, if there's any type of even inkling of conspiracy theory, he doesn't want to go through with it. He doesn't feel comfortable, and he seemed to be pretty emotional about it.
Your new Wildly Easy cocktail mixer. How fun! Available in 4.
And I really felt for him. I was like, I get that, because people really try to like pressure you into doing stuff, but it's like, we don't know. We really don't. Like, it's only been a few years, like a year and a half, honestly. These things are just getting approved. Like, you don't really know what's going to be the long-term effects of it.
So take the effort down and take your cocktail game.
Vanessa said, it's okay. Thankfully, it was kind of warm today. Nice. Yeah, it was pretty toasty over here. And I was kind of surprised. But also, you know, not really, because the state of our planet and the environment. But that's neither here nor there. I was just like, wow, it's pretty toasty today.
Okay, we're back, you guys. We're back.
Oop, they're back.
Dear friend, who I just love because I just love your energy.
Oh my God, thank you. I love your energy.
And your upbeat attitude and your beautiful smile and all of it.
I drink a lot of energy drinks.
What kind?
They don't sponsor me, so I can't say.
So you can't say. So we'll never fucking know. I love how that's how our behavior is now.
I
When
know.
people are like, what do you use for your skin? I'm like, I won't tell you. I won't tell you until
Get
they
that
pay me. Okay, so we're going to start with some callers, and we're going to give them some feedback. Who do we have, Catherine? What's going on?
Our first email today comes from Jeremy. He says, Dear Chelsea, so like so many people right now, I'm out of
She
work.
said
I'm
they
a
don't
singer
pay
and an
me.
actor, and I've done shows in New York and tours and cruise ships. And before this
They don't
pandemic
pay
hit, I
me.
was so excited about where my career was headed. Then everything stopped. So I panicked and went back to college. By going back, I realized that there is life beyond my career. I don't want to give up on my dreams, but I also don't want to be stuck in a position again where I have no work. I just don't know what the right thing is to do. Any advice you have for me in this career transition would be so appreciated. Thanks from a big fan,
Good
Jeremy.
question.
Okay, is Jeremy here?
He's not. This was just an email.
Oh God, I wish I understood how this podcast worked. Whenever I ask for the caller, they're not there, and then whenever I respond like it's a write-in, they're on the phone.
You're doing great.
They're on the
you're doing
Zoom.
amazing,
Thank
sweetie.
you, thank
Yeah.
you. Lily, do you want to
You're
start?
Yeah,
doing
listen, I
amazing, sweetie.
relate to the struggle so hard as someone who also was like, I want to make art and I'm creative, and my Indian parents were like, shut the F up, that's not going to happen, that's not a real job, get a real job. So here's my advice. I think you live in a very, very unique time where there's so many opportunities to create things. We live in a very privileged time in that way, right? There's so many platforms, there's so many ways to avoid the gatekeepers, make your own stuff, build a following. However, that takes time and energy, a lot of hustle, and a lot of opportunity. So what I did is I had a job. I hustled really hard to on the side also do my art, also work on it, learn to edit, learn to shoot, learn how to do comedy. I had 2 full-time jobs.
Except
for a
I'm not
really
doing
long
all those
time,
other
and
things,
that's how I
really.
built my audience. I'm gonna say you don't have to follow the conventional, like, I need to get hired as an actor to do this anymore. Make your own sketches, create your own content, and I think the opportunity for that today is better than ever before.
Is he an entertainer? Is that what he said?
Yeah, he's an actor and a singer.
Oh, I see. Yeah, exactly. Right. This is the best time in the world.
TikTok, baby.
Yeah, tickety talk. Get on it.
But it's not easy. I think a lot
For
of
real,
people think,
though,
oh, I'll
low-key.
just post some videos and get
Right.
a following. It's a lot of work. But if you want it, get the job. that
It
pays
is a
the
lot of
bills,
work.
and then do the job you love.
Boy, tell me about it. That's why I haven't been doing it.
Yeah,
It's
but I also
so
would
much,
think,
like,
if you make the
time
effort
and
to go to
attention.
school and you're into school, you can do all of it at the same time, right? Like, get the education you want and then supplement it with all of this stuff, because it's going to be a huge learning curve anyway, to learn how to, like, you know, register on TikTok, on social media, in acting, in all of that stuff, and to make your mark. So it's going to be a learning curve anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's like
So
a
why not
whole
also be
thing
supplementing
that
that
you
with
gotta like get
education?
into.
I also think, and this is like a nerdy thing, but I think school is dope. I miss
I
I want to go. To,
also
I would like to go to college.
I would
yeah.
like to go.
can I just say I've been thinking about that recently about how I really want to go back to school and how it was not the worst place in the world for me. This where like all of my friends were, like where people were doing stuff that was at least interesting. You know, there's always something going on at school. But like when you're just at home in the hood, it's just like ain't nothing happening over here. I'm bored. I'm bored. But at school, there's always something going on. In any case. Oh. Yeah, the pausing thing might have to slow down. Oh. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Get it, get it, get it. I really like coloring.
I want to go to school. I think when I was in school, I'm like, ugh. But now I'm like, I would love to go.
I would like to go live on campus.
I literally just made a post about school
like
today on my shorts.
Doing wrong and try
actually.
and change the trajectory of their bad behavior.
100%.
And I would also like to be involved in sorority life so that I can steer girls towards having a little bit more self-esteem, a little bit more self-confidence, and not taking any fucking shit.
That's right.
So anyway, that's a side note. We both want
I
to go
could
back to
totally
college.
see Chelsea doing that. I'm surprised she's not doing
Yeah,
that.
I didn't think sororities and fraternities were real. I thought they were only in movies until I was in my mid-20s.
They actually should. You know, it is kind of an
They're kind
antiquated.
of messed up.
It's an antiquated notion because, you know, it's just exclusionary. It's excluding.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
mean because people don't get in.
Right.
And
So
they
forget
hate
it. I don't want to be in a fraternity. I don't want to be in a sorority. What I really want to do is just go back to college. But the thing is, if I went back to school, I would end up having an inappropriate relationship with somebody that was 18 or 17, and that's illegal. 17 is illegal. I know that. And
Isn't 18 illegal?
18 is not illegal. 18 is legal.
But you can have a relationship with an 18-year-old, but an 18-year-old can't drink here?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
America.
America.
The legal age for us is 19
The
in
drinking
Canada.
age in America is 21
But that's
years old.
ridiculous. You can do anything else before
No
21.
shit, Sherlock. Our country is fucking upside down and
You
twisted.
Americans, I tell you.
I know. Canadians is where it's at. That's why.
100%.
That's why I'm gonna marry Lily, so I can
We're
get my
better.
Canadian
Yeah.
citizenship.
I brought the ring. You know, careers in general, I feel when I was growing up, I had this very linear idea of what my career in life would be. I would go to school, get a piece of paper that said I was good at something, get a job, do that job forever, and that was going to be life. That's not real life. That's
That
not real
is
life
not
at all.
real
I
life
got
at
a psych
all.
degree, which I It's a paperweight right now in my house.
I didn't know you had a psych degree.
See, it's useless. I never use it.
But that's cool. That's not useless.
But
That's
here's the thing about psych is that you do all this reading and studying, and then the end of the 50-page chapter goes, but also none of this may be true. That's why they can't get on board with it.
well, what do you mean? Yeah.
They'll have all these theories about like why they think people behave that way,
Uh-huh.
and the last paragraph of the book will be like, but also this is all up for debate and may not actually be accurate.
It's all conjecture.
It's
yeah,
the-
speculation, or yeah,
It's the
right.
mind
Maybe
fuck
I use my
of
psych
the
degree a little bit,
psychology.
like when I'm flirting to try and trick people. I don't know. Anyways, but the point I'm making is I got a psych degree.
Did Lily Singh just admit to using her psychology degree to trick people while she's flirting? Hello? What the heck? Somebody better go get her. Somebody better go get her. She's out here in these streets, psychology people, okay? I mean, I guess it's not working too well. She's single, right? She said you are right to an extent. Are you talking about the weather thing? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I just be talking, girl. You gotta catch me. But let's also just take a moment to notice. Lily just admitted she uses her psychology degree when she's flirting. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. It's so funny. I believe it though. I don't blame her. I'd probably do the same thing. School is a straight up trap. The curriculum of school is a trap, but the idea, I feel like the idea of collective education is a great idea. But the school system as it is, at least in America
Psych degree. I thought I was going to be a counselor. Can
these
you believe
days,
that? And then I discovered YouTube. And I made YouTube videos. And then I was like, this is what I'm doing for the rest of my life, I
it's
guess.
counselor.
And then from there, I wrote a book. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm an author. And from there, I went on a tour. And I'm like, oh, I guess I'm a performer. And then I got a late night show. And I thought, this is what I'm doing for the rest of my life. The point I'm making is my career has changed so many times. And each time I was so sure this is the thing I'm doing forever. And then life slaps you across the face. And you realize that you don't have to narrow yourself into one direction. You can do it all. And you can do all the things that you
Yes.
And life will probably force it to be that way.
We really
I think
did
anytime
want
you
her
think
to
you're
have that
stuck
show
onto
for
something
like
and
the
it's going
rest
to
of
be for a long
forever,
time,
and I was
life
a
throws
little
you a
sad.
curveball. I know, 'cause for my
I
experience,
gotta
it's
pause
like,
it. I gotta pause it because I saw somebody at RuPaul's show yesterday during the taping wearing a Late with Lily hoodie, and I was like all up in my feelings because I was like, we're supposed to be every like so many more seasons. But you know, she is moving on to the bigger and better things. She has so many other types of projects going on, and let me tell you, these Super Thursday videos have been giving me life. Okay, this one with the failed product commercial, like interview the sketch artist thing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I was like, that is people. Said she looked like she came from a good. What? Because her hair was like Jesus. Her hair was like Mercury retrograde. What? If someone said that to me, I would be low key offended. Like, I do my best to not be triggered by things or offended by people, but I would have felt, I would feel a little sideways about somebody telling me that my hair was like Mercury retrograde. What? Hello, whoever else just stepped up in the room. Thank you for being here. We're just doing some arty things and listening to what's it called? Dear Chelsea. I was gonna be like, hey Chelsea. That's not what it's called. It's called Dear Chelsea. Yeah, with Lily Singh. And we're getting into just all of these things, all of the things. No. About career and stuff. Yeah, that's what she was talking about right now. It's like career. I'm just stuck on this Mercury retrograde. I was like, what the heck? Said her eyes are like crystals. What does that mean? Oh my gosh, so good.
Experience. It's like I always go into things thinking, oh fuck, how long is this going to go on for? Like it's the opposite thing. Like I don't like
I
to
feel
be,
that way
I have
sometimes.
a commitment. I'm commitment phobic.
I'm like
way
both.
with
How
regard
about
to
you guys?
career and like signing a contract for
Right.
more than 2 years.
Right.
Like I'm like, oh no. I don't know if I'm going to want to be in this country.
Right.
I don't know.
Oh my God, Chelsea, me. Okay. Vanessa says you go to school thinking you're going to walk out with a job waiting for you as soon as you graduate, but all you get is student debt and a possible job at Burger King. But more than likely, you don't get it because you're overqualified. Facts. The first time I ever heard the term overqualified was when my mom was looking for some extra work to kind of get us through a certain period of time in life. And she was like, they say they like me and they want to work with me, but I'm overqualified. It's like, if I could do the job and I want to do the job, then let me do the job. What does it matter? Like, what's the point of having these degrees if they're gonna like block me from making money? Like, that's the complete opposite. Like, I get you don't want to be putting overqualified people in there to block out people who maybe don't have those same qualifications. Like, you don't want to be um, pricing people out essentially. But if you are looking for someone, I don't know, maybe there was somebody else that fit it better. I just feel like they should have just said that instead. Overqualified. What? But it's also one of those things where you are technically overqualified, and I think that they get intimidated because you might start asking for more money or something like that. But I honestly just think it's all ridiculous. I'm glad that I didn't finish school because I definitely thought that I was going to be going, getting my internship, getting my degree after 8 years of school, mind you, because I was going to be getting my veterinary degree. And after like 4 to 6 years of residency, like you're expecting to go out and just get a job, but you never really know. I might have not, well, I wouldn't say maybe not made it into veterinary school, but you don't know. And then I have this animal science degree, and it's like, what do you use that for? So, I don't know. And I work at Petco, like, like what? I'm sure that's happened to someone. I'm sure that has happened to somebody. Because I know when I was first like transferring my credits over to another school, they were telling me that my a lot of some of my credits weren't transferring properly. Oops, because they were specifically like, it was like chemistry for animal sciences, but it was basically like the same kind of basic chemistry, but they just used examples that involved animal management situations. Like that was literally it, was just the examples of it. The math of it, the process of it was all just the same chemistry. It was literally just the examples they used because that was the field we were going into. And they were trying to say that the class wasn't the same and that the credits couldn't transfer. I was like, y'all are wild. Y'all are dumb. Let me just say it, y'all are dumb. This is dumb. Y'all are dumb. I was like, y'all are not about to make me retake all these credits. You out of your mind. But yeah, that happened. And it's one of the reasons that I also dropped out the second time. Well, this is pretty nice. Ooh. I've been studying shade by like staring at people's stuff, like their shirts and their bags and just their different things to see how stuff falls together. And I gotta say, it's been pretty good. I feel like I was gonna say right now, I feel like it's hitting that little, it's hitting my hand. I'll say it that way. It's hitting my hand, little bit. Let me turn this back on, because y'all do not want me in these streets to do it, I'm sure. Overqualified. Ain't that about a bitch though, right? Do I need to turn the Wi-Fi on my phone? I probably should, right? That would be make sense. That would be making the sense, eh? Here we go. You know something
I don't know if I want to still live in LA, and I don't want to be beholden to anyone, you know?
Realize I need to
major
watch more
issues
like
about
streamers that do this so I can
move
know
around, bounce around whenever I want. So
what the
I have
realness
kind of the
is.
opposite thing with you, but again, in multiple different ways, like doing so many different things when I feel them. You know, obviously that's a luxury to have, and not everybody starts out their career like that. But the more of a foundation you lay, the more options you have later on down the road. So, you know, having an education, having talent, having all these different modes of making money and making income and attracting
multiple
people to you
sources
is always
of
going to pay back in
income.
spades. So
I also think another big thing is you can't grow and stay the same. Like that can't happen. And I think with late night for me, I was so excited about late night. I really believe I can do anything after that because it was so exhausting in every single way. And I just feel like everything I do now is a breeze, to be honest. But when I did late night, I was like, okay, this is a historic thing. This is for representation. You know, first woman in 30 years. You know, I'm the first Indian woman. But then when I was in that environment, I think something changed within me when I thought I could be moving the needle in a better, more effective way.
Yeah, you can.
I learned from late night. And I very quickly learned that I was only going to be able to do so much in that setting.
It was such a box. It was such a box. But I was just excited to see her.
Not just the shiny person that is the representation. And so I feel like
the shiny person.
Reason, and when your career shifts, it's because you're meant to do something else and you're meant to contribute in a different way. That's what I'm telling myself.
But that's also what we talk about on this podcast a lot. Is like instead of resisting the change,
but you know,
the change and going,
she got to do what she got to do.
This is over. This doesn't work for me, or whatever. And moving on to the next thing with the same amount of enthusiasm, the same amount of interest, knowing that, you know, instead of looking in the rearview mirror, which so many people are so guilty of, like, I wish I could have, should have, would have. It's over. It doesn't matter. You cannot change history. So it's better to just move forward.
She's so real.
50%.
It's over. It doesn't matter.
Like, okay, I'm gonna nail this, and then everything kind of always ends up.
So we all go through it. Like I said, I have 5 associate degrees
survival rate of surviving every
in arts, gen ed, early childhood, science, and business.
Yeah, that's great.
And I work retail for 10 hours. Like the
Remember, we
whole.
had our first late night kiss at the beginning of your show.
We did. Oh my God.
I was about to talk about that. But absolutely, it's like life keeps telling, like life. Society. Let me not say life. Let me not put this on life. You feel me? It's society. Society is like, oh, if you have these credentials, you are guaranteed to get this result. And that is just really not true, because there's always that human input, that thing with relationships, right? Um, that part where how do I put this? People I'm not gonna say people suck. That's not what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say people have been conditioned into excluding other people based on very superficial uh, standards. And it doesn't matter if you have the degree, it doesn't matter if you were Kudum Maulog. You know what I'm trying to say. If you were first in your class or last in your class, it doesn't matter to some people because they have a certain uh, perception of someone who looks like you or uh, does what you do, or a lot of times it's really you come from where you come from, right? Like a lot of times it really is just appearance based, which is wild. Um, and I'm gonna get back into this podcast, but I feel like I'm about to go on a tangent, so grab hold real fast with me. Um, I was just watching Gary Vaynerchuk and Mark Zuckerberg have a conversation. Uh, oh, this looks like it's gonna be messy. Let's not do that. Um, and it was about the metaverse that Mark Zuckerberg is putting out with Facebook. Um, oh no, I think I fucked up, y'all. Oh well. Um, and they were talking about like how our human behaviors of showing off with uh, clothes and shoes and jewelry and all of those types of things, of presenting ourselves, of dressing ourselves, are going to transfer over into the virtual space. And people will be buying virtual clothes and, um, digital shoes and like all types of, the things that you get now in the physical world, they'll be getting them digitally. And they were kind of discussing what that, means and how that plays out. Um, and I thought it was a really interesting truth because I think people. Oh, Vanessa, thanks. Well, here's like an update on it. Sorry, guys. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, kind of made the clouds a little weird. That's what we're looking like. I'll take a picture of it and put it on my Instagram so you can see the colors better. But yeah, that's what we're looking like. And now I'm getting to the bottom where the shand is at. Oh, there you go. That's a little better. Ta-da! It's not done yet. Don't look. um, and it's just like human beings are just that, human beings. And we have certain things that we do and ways of expressing ourselves. And just like any other creature has habits and instincts, we have ours, and we happen to do that through clothes and other material objects. Um, and status and title and all of those types of dynamics. So like once we get into the digital space, once it's transferred over to the digital space, it really is just amplified, right? And Gary was also saying that it becomes more honest because people are, on the internet, and they tend to share more than they would in person. They tend to be more authentic online behind an avatar than they do in person. So, and it was like a business talk. So it was like about the assets of digital assets and things like that. Just kind of what the trajectory of that is and what that looks like in the next 3 to 5 years. Mark was saying. So he's kind of pushing this. And I'm just saying, I don't know if people are ready. I think this is something kind of like a step that maybe needs to be slowed down on until we can actually get everyone in America kind of on the same time zone. And I don't mean like East Coast, West Coast. I mean like some people in the South are seriously stuck in like the 1800s. Like some people only have one street light in their neighborhood. Like Vanessa, we were talking about living in rural areas. Like some places in LA, you can't even go there without scanning a QR code, or you can't use cash sometimes. But then there are other places in America where you can only use cash and they don't take debit cards because they don't have the internet for a card reader. I think we need to get everybody kind of up to date on the latest technology before we start sliding folks into a virtual metaverse, right? Because I just feel like at some point that disconnect of using the digital space as a form of communication and transferring currency, like having that gap of space and knowledge and experience and going straight into just I'm living my life in the real world and now I'm living my life in this virtual world. I just think that that's a huge gap. I think that's a huge gap. And one that could be potentially detrimental to people and their well-being. And I'm also like, they didn't talk about any type of hacking stuff, any type of robots, any type of scamming, any type of cryptocurrencies, swindlers, nothing like that. And that's a problem. I don't need anything about any type of world where that's virtual and I'm thinking I'm talking to another virtual person and it's not freaking another virtual person, it's some freaking spam person. Like, I don't need that in my life, Mark. Fix it. I don't want it. Fix it. You're out here trying to create a whole new world and you're leaving this one to the robots and the spammers and the scammers. And I don't stand that. But yeah, that's what I gotta say about that. Let's see. These guys will be green, I guess. Let me get your little shadow. I'm doing my best to not really use black. And also to, just practice my shadow work with colors versus the black. Because shadow really isn't black. It's a shade of whatever color it's on. So, keeping that in mind, I'm doing my best to do some shading with these colors. Let's see. This is what this one look like. What do you finish? Okay. Oh, you look okay. You look pretty decent. I'm not upset at it. Oh, cover my eyeball. Can you see? Can you see? Focus. I apologize. There we go. We got it. Click, 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 click. Art. Actually, I really like this. The colors are good. The clouds are kind of wonky, but it's just until you gotta practice, right? Right. Onward with this podcast. Again, I don't own this or whatever.
Yeah.
But-
Lily was like,
And then we had like 20 others off camera.
oh, well, yeah, because Lily wouldn't leave me alone. She wouldn't get off my jock. So typical.
Chelsea always comes through, no matter what I ask her. Literally, no matter what I ask, I was like, Chelsea, I need you to come to my show. I need to kiss someone. She's like, cool, be there. I'll be there. I'll be there on Tuesday. She's a real one.
Yeah, I had to admit that day out of respect for our situation. I would never do that for my
That's really
boyfriend.
nice of you because I did not.
I know. Last night we were flying home from New York, and my boyfriend was like, "Does my breath smell?" I'm like, "I don't know, honey. I just keep my mask on all the time because I love the smell of my own breath."
That's so weird. We're disgusting. We're all disgusting.
No, but we're all so disgusting that I don't want to smell other people anymore. I'm going to continue wearing that mask
Low
for
key
years
feel
because
that.
I like my breath, and well, it mostly smells like cannabis, but that is a smell that comforts me, and I like my mask smell. So the other day I took someone's mask to borrow, like a friend of mine was like, here,
That
and
sounds safe.
yeah, of course. I was like, how do I get the Delta variant? And they gave it to me, and I was like, oh, no, thank you. I don't like that smell.
The biggest joke of this entire situation is you're supposed to wash your mask every time you use it. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
that's ridiculous.
Let's just settle
the
down here.
disposable ones, those little blue and white ones, are you
You
still
wear the
watching?
disposable one?
I wear those, yeah. Those, like, doctor ones. Not the K95s, but the little thin blue and white
Really?
ones.
Oh no, I have my own cloth mask.
No, yeah, see, I'm not, no. I keep thinking it's going to be over any
Yeah,
day.
you need
so.
to just wake up and get with the times. It's never over. It's never getting over.
It's the pandemic forever.
Ever. I don't know if you can afford that sample. I'm so sorry if you can't.
I'm sure we can. It's a podcast.
Chelsea's
Why
so
wouldn't we
rich.
be able to?
Chelsea,
I like the idea of putting in my own money to buy the licensing rights for my podcast. iHeart doesn't do it. I have to put up the money. I'm like, hey guys, I want to buy this song for $50,000.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I hope that helps you. Touch base with us and let us know what happened.
Jeremy, go Jeremy.
Go. Okay, who do we have next?
Okay, our next caller
I'm
is
totally
Sarah.
answering
She's
questions.
40 and she lives in California. She says, Dear Chelsea, I'm 40 years old and I have been married for 15 years to my high school sweetheart. We've been together for the better part of 25 years, but when I envision my future, I don't see it being with a man. I started having these feelings about 2 years ago, but recently they've grown stronger and stronger. While the vision of my new life excites me, and I've told my husband, who's been super supportive, I'm not sure how to tell my family. Any advice? And I actually spoke to Tara. She had written in before she talked to her husband. She said they're going to stay married for the time being, and he's really completely supportive. But she's a really private person and isn't really sure if her family needs to know. So she's here with us right now, and she can tell you a little bit more about her situation.
Hi, Tara.
Hi, Chelsea. How are
I'm great. Do you know Lily, Tara?
Hi, Lily. Nice to meet you.
No, and what an awesome question. What a really
She's
awesome
like,
question.
Yeah, it's good timing too because of my special guest.
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Hi.
I apologize. I'm not familiar with who you are, so.
Don't apologize at all. Chelsea and I have very different demographics.
Yes, don't worry. I'm sure her audience has no idea who the fuck I am, so no worries.
Yeah, so my situation, I guess, everything's been actually pretty great with my husband, but yeah, I'm a very private person. I don't Instagram, I don't Twitter, I don't anything. I Google myself to make sure that I can't find information on myself, and I have like a big half Italian family, half Irish family, and it's navigating telling them, because my husband and I have been together for so long, and that's all that they know, and I just don't want to have to explain myself. It's the questions, the why, when did you, this, that, like, I really don't feel it's any of their fucking business.
and like it is what it is, but there's going to be family events coming up, and it's just figuring out kind of how to bob and weave through that.
Right. Well, I'll let you go first because you have some experience.
So my background is that at the tender age of 30, so I relate to you. At the age of 30, I came out as bi. So don't at all feel like you're alone. There's a whole bunch of us older folk who are like, we're figuring things out, and it's a lifelong journey. And that's okay. But you know what?
Older folk.
The sentiment of it is no one's business, and you don't need to explain yourself. And I think the most beautiful thing that people can decide is that they don't need to come out, because they actually don't need to explain to anybody who they are. And I'm so emotional hearing your story, because one of the only reasons I came out was because I was in the public eye, and I had a big fear that someone else would say it before I would, and I wouldn't be able to live with myself. But I remember thinking, why do I need to tell like this extended group of friends or this extended group of aunts and uncles? Why do they need to explain who I am? It's not like people come out as straight. It's not like people like, I have to tell you something. I actually am straight. Like, that doesn't happen, right?
Yeah.
And so I think you're a full-fledged adult. You have your own life. You are figuring out who you are, and that's never going to end. That's going to keep happening. You don't really need to explain anything to anyone. And I love the fact that your husband is being supportive. I think that is wonderful. But I think you don't really need to have a list of people to say, tell all these people and explain, and you don't need to answer those questions. I think all you need to do is make a choice and set boundaries. And this is me straight up quoting my therapist, which is just, when people ask you those questions, which they will, how did you know? But what about this? But what about your sex life? Hey, this is just where I'm at, and I don't really need to explain. Like, let's instead go have a drink. Let's instead hang out. I don't need to go through this entire process of uprooting my past now to explain to you who I am. You just need to love who you are. If you accept who you are, that's all that matters, truly.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with it. And there's just such a rhetoric now around people just micromanaging their sexuality of they're this and they're that. And I'm like, I'm just like,
just you.
Yeah, you don't.
And it's also like when you're, I feel so much for teens when they're coming with, I'm like, I think they still need the support of their parents. They still need to be taken after. And when you're younger, but when you're an adult, it's kind of like, if you want to celebrate who I am, great. If you don't, I have a fully functioning life already, and I'm doing my own thing, and I'm going to be great either way. So that's kind of the silver lining I discovered of coming out later in life.
There you
I didn't need to
go.
be scared that I was going to get kicked out. I didn't need to be scared that I was going to get disowned. It was like, I already have an entire universe of my own. And so you can be part of it, and we can party and go to Pride together and listen to Lady Gaga bops and be dope. Or you can be over there and I'll be doing that for myself over here.
Yes, very true.
Lady Gaga.
I love that you're talking about being a lesbian and you're wearing a shirt that says "Hey Pussy."
It's a perfect combination.
Oh,
it's amazing.
It's Sophia Paterno, my inner golden girl.
Pussycat.
Everyone has an inner golden girl, right?
Yeah, yes, we do.
Who's your inner golden girl?
I'm not going to know any of the names of them because I'm too young. And
right.
You guys are acting really old right now.
Sorry.
My friend loves golden girl.
There's one that like drinks a lot, right?
Rue McClanahan.
Okay, I think that's me.
I forget what her name was. What was her name, Tara? Dorothy Blanche.
Blanche.
Blanche. You don't drink a lot.
Kind of, not really, but I enjoy it.
Betty White is the airhead.
She's the dipsy doodle of the bunch. Yeah, I have a lot of friends like her.
Betty White.
Anyway, back to you, Tara.
So
First of all, I think you should have a lot of gratitude for the fact that you are with a man that is as understanding as he is, and he's cool.
Let's see. Vanessa says, although Lily had all of Team Super supporting her, to say, right. Like, we are here for you, girl. You tell us about it. You don't need to worry about telling anybody else or what they're going to say. They'll probably hear about it, but you don't need to tell them. Right?
And he's cool with that. He understands that everything's good, right?
Because that's such a good point. I feel like having what is it? Kind of like a relationship or like, I guess you can say relationship. The relationship that Team Super has with Lily, I feel like she still very much has her own life, and she doesn't always feel the support that she has, You feel me? I feel like she's very much still like one of us, and just a normal person, where she's like, okay, I am here in this world having my own experience, and these are certain things that I have to deal with. These are certain situations that need to be handled, or conversations that need to be had, etc. So she's like so much managing her own life that it's not really of her like present mind to really think about and go back to Team Super. We would have shut down anyone who came at her the wrong way. Facts. These are the facts. And I'm sure a part of her knows that, which is why she felt bold enough to come out with it in the first place. Anyway, I should say. But also, like I was saying, I think she's still very much just a lady, just a person. And she had that worry of, I have to, oops, that's the wrong color. I have these certain people in my life that have these opinions, and we're always more focused on what's in our present environment, even though we are so stuck in our phones a lot of the times. I think we are still very aware of our environments, which is what makes us be more reserved and maybe not express ourselves as fully, because we feel like there are people in our environments, certain standards or cultural norms that we have to abide by or adhere to. And that's just really not the case. That's just really not the case. Because at the end of the day, those things can always shift, because it's a lot of based on just popular opinion. So if you just do you, then I would say if you just do you, then at some degree, you'll shift the needle in that direction, because when you accept you, when you just allow only that, then the world will start to bend that way a little bit. I agree, but to the person without that kind of support, it's a bit harder. Are you saying like just like any other person that doesn't have the support of like millions of fans? Or maybe even hundreds of thousands. Like I know like Lily's counts are like 10 million, 15 million. But a lot of that is just people that are drawn to her physically, like because she's a beautiful person. Some people are just following her because she's a brown woman, and they want to just be like, I support that. Some people are following her just to hate on her, because that's the thing. Some people are like a part of brands, and they're just trying to like get into her space, or like maybe not brands, but like people that are looking to jump onto her bandwagon, I guess I should say, like that. So it's not really like people that are like, yes, I love Lilly Singh, I am here to support her, whatever she does. It's not, I don't think, it's not the full 10 million people. It's not the full 15, It's not the full 3 or 2 or whatever she has on TikTok these days. I think it's still like 1 million. Honestly, I haven't been on TikTok in a minute. But that number isn't like an accurate representation of people that actually love and support her like that. This is true, but a lot of us genuinely care. Absolutely. As I said, hundreds of thousands, I'm sure. And that's still a shit ton of people. Hundreds of thousands of people is still a lot of people. And I think that is remarkable. And like I said about her new book, Be a Triangle, she is going to help a lot more people. And it's going to, I think it's going to create a more authentic and aligned base of audience. And I think either her counts will go up, and just go up, and all like new people will be like joining in and adding to the conversation, or the number will go down and then go back up because people will be like disinterested in what she's presenting, or those different types of things. So they'll like fall off, just like with any project, really. And then and then people will start to kind of fill in those spots as they start becoming more in tune with their growth. I'm so excited about this book, honestly. Really, truly, like truly, really excited. Because I just think she has so much knowledge. She has so much knowledge, and I think it's a beautiful thing that she's open to sharing that knowledge with the world in her own unique way, through something like a book, because there are a lot of young women who aspire to be like her, or to, be prosperous and successful like her. And, watching videos only does so much sometimes. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. That was so unattractive. She is passing this knowledge, and it's something that we need in this world today. Because I know a lot of young women that have dreams and aspirations, and for them to be able to connect with this in a book form, and again, not just through videos or like audio, they can actually like really, really go through it and thumb through it. And I think that's an important part of the learning process, is really handling the words. I love physical books. I think physical books are far superior to the digital ebooks. But I got the ebook today and that's mostly because I'm not really sure what my address is going to be in April. So I was like, let me just make sure I can cop it and read it. You feel me? We'll worry about getting the physical copy later. So this is true, but a lot of us genuinely care. I read that. Even still, there's more than you or I. Absolutely. And if you're talking about like supporting Lily or like, yeah, clarify that if you're talking about supporting Lily, because that's what I thought you talked about. Just in case it's not, I'm gonna take a pause for the cause. I might have to hop onto the stream later. I might finish this up and we'll do some streaming stuff in a bit. This is almost halfway done. Let's see here.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're still living together, we're staying married. It's just because logistically.
Back to you, Tara.
Yeah.
First of all, I think you should have a lot of gratitude for the fact that you are with a man that is as understanding as he is, and he's cool with that. He understands that everything's good, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, we're still living together, we're staying married. It's just because logistically we've been together so long, it will probably be a nightmare. We're really fortunate too. We have a friend very close mutual friend who's a divorce attorney. So when it does have to happen, we can have her mediate through things. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's confusing and hurtful. It hurts him because we've been together pretty much since we were kids. So it's kind of all he knows. It's somewhat all I know, besides, little small breaks here and there. But yeah, he's really been awesome. He's my best friend. He's one of the people I've known in my life the longest that I'm not related to. So
yeah, and it seems to me like
there's this
that
guy
really is
in
the only
junior
person that
high
you
that
owe
I
any
told I was
explanation to is the
married.
person that you are living with or
If I was
married to or in
30
a
and I
relationship
wasn't married yet, we
I agree
agreed we
with
would
Lily,
get
but I mean,
married.
I think what you're saying is that you don't want to even come out to your family, right?
No, it's not. I mean, it's kind of along the lines of what Lily said. I don't feel I owe anyone an explanation. And when the time comes and when I see them, like my grandma is 92 and she's fucking sharp as a button, but is she really going to understand, like, oh, wow, how do you 25 years into a relationship just decide?
The rule of thumb is to always lie to the grandparents. That's the rule of thumb. You be honest to everyone else, you always lie to the grandparents. You're like, I'm not going to be the person that gives you the heart attack. Like, straight, I lie to all the women. That, I feel is, like, just common. Like, I feel like that's fine.
I would send her pictures of my dogs, and she'd be like, don't send me pictures of your fucking dogs. Have kids and send me pictures of your kids. And I'm all,
lie about that, too. Just send random kids.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, you
get a
can lie
Cabbage
to the
Patch.
grandparents.
Get a Cabbage Patch baby and send her a picture of that 100%. And just say, I just got this.
Yeah.
and
Lie to the grandparents.
I would say I couldn't agree more. I don't understand why gay people have to come out. You don't have to come out. It's like straight people don't have to declare that their straightness.
Yeah.
And I think you've made up your mind. It sounds like you understand what's going on, and that is just the first step in a series of steps that you're going to be taking. You've made the big first one. I totally agree about not coming out to your family. It's not their business. This is your life, and this is your show. You have to make yourself happy. Make yourself.
Dear Tara.
Yeah, this is Dear Tara. You have to make yourself happy.
Tara.
And Tara.
So I'm an Indian. I knew it I'm saying it too Indian. It's my fault. I said it too Indian.
I'm from New York, and my mom just says Ta, and people are like,
Indian people say Tara, and I knew I was going to make that mistake. At some point.
And when I'm around Indian people, I say Tara
Indian,
too. So it's very confusing for all three of us.
I know we have to move, but the last thing I really want to say just from my heart is, after listening to you and Chelsea speak, Chelsea mentioned gratitude, and I do want to just insert a little unicornness and say, I know this is super hard and super difficult and probably really stressful, but there's something really awesome about saying I spent so many years with this person who's awesome, and now I get to explore a different part of myself and do the best of both worlds and live all parts of myself, which a lot of people don't get to do. So I think that's a really cool silver lining of you just like living your truth.
I have a very close friend who I've known longer than my husband, and I went and stayed with him, and he had said, just because the relationship is over doesn't mean it was bad. He said, you guys had such great times together. Think of the things that you did, the things you grew together, and those things just helped develop your character. He said, it doesn't make it bad. And I was like, you're right. Yeah. And it was so true. Like, very invested.
Yeah, that's right. And hold on to that, because you're having an awakening of what you desire, and that's
all that matters, right? Are you waking up and living in your desire? Absolutely. Are you waking up and feeling like empowered to do what you got to do today? Does it excite you? Absolutely. Vanessa says, a lot of us don't have a lot of support, you know? We have friends and family, yet still feel really alone. Half of the time, we can't tell our family anything, and our friends don't really know us. This is something that I have seen a lot in the world, and I think I noticed it at such a young age that I did my best to not put myself into a friendship with people that didn't actually have my um, experience in mind, or didn't really like weren't really looking for me or checking for me. You feel me? Like that's why I really only have Kelsey, and I had another friend that was like my best friend that I hung out with all the time. But she was very gossipy, and she was very I don't think belittling is the word, but she had a way of demeaning. She had a way of demeaning basically everything, even the things that were for her, and for her good, and like all the different blessings and opportunities that uh, she had presented to her, right? Um, and it's one of those things where I only allowed so much of that in my life. I only allowed like her, right? Because I didn't see what the point was of having a whole group of hers, right? Like people, so much so, like people didn't really invite me to come over for games, or not like games, like video games, like play video games or play basketball, like hang out. We didn't really hang out outside of school. And that's another reason I really like school, was it allowed me to be with my friends and hang out with my friends without having to go to either one of our houses. It just allowed us to kick it and chop it up in the world, and not feel like you had to host somebody, or like you had to go through uh, the whole process of bringing yourself over to someone else's house and then getting comfortable with their space and all that. Like for me, that's like a thing. Um, I know some people that can come into anybody's space and just feel completely comfortable. I'm one of those people. Like I'm like, is it cool if I sit here? Is it cool if I sit there? Can I stand here? Should I take my shoes off? Probably yes. Um, can I get the water? Where's the restroom? Like, is there certain soap I should use, or hand towels, or whatever? Like, I'm very particular about other people's spaces when I go into them, especially like the first or second time. But once I kind of like get to know the person, and we can kind of see what our energy is exchanged, like our exchange, synergy is the thing. But our energy exchange is like, then I can get a bit more comfortable. Um, so I think that that's something that needs to be taken into consideration. um, but yeah, I really do my best to not let in that feeling from people. And Vanessa, I know you were on the call on Tuesday. One of the other ladies last week was telling us about how she has this group of friends, and a few weeks before, or like a few days before that call last week, they had this like intervention for her, where they basically were telling her all the stuff that they don't like about her. And she's just like, what the fuck did this even come from? It's not even that she was doing anything wrong. It was just that they were like, these are all the things that we don't like about you. And I'm not really sure what was on that list or what it was about, but I just felt like that is so uncomfortable. And at some point, I feel like you have to recognize when someone isn't good for you. And I think you can develop that recognition as a child, like as early as 10 years old, when you can develop that radar of, I don't know if this person is going to have my best interest in mind. Um, and I think that that's something that maybe some people don't really have it. But like I said, it's something I definitely leaned on. I don't want to ramble too much on this because we are done with this thing. I like drawing these little animal sets. I did a group of them back in 2019. Look at him. He's cute. Oh, oh, hello. 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 Focus. Yeah. 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 Cutie. Oh, no. Oh, there he goes. Cutie. Okay. But yeah, I don't want to go too long on this. So that's definitely a big thing. And I was just watching I think it was Jay Shetty or it was Lewis Howell. Somebody somebody was talking about recognizing toxic people before you get involved with them, because they do develop just like any other person that was a child. You pick up the tools and ideas that you need in your childhood to make yourself up, to build up your personality as a human being. And some of us decided that we want to fuck with other people. Oops. Oh, I think it just started. Let's see, it's 31. Okay. And some of us decided we want to fuck with other people. So we have developed the tools of manipulation and persuasion and of just harassment and essentially those types of things, those type of mindsets, and again, just kind of skills. And I think that just as much as those people pick those things up, and of course it's like an unconscious thing, right? It's like what you do as a child to kind of protect yourself, and again, and to grow yourself and to come into yourself, get a better understanding of your place in the world. So, no like blame or shame or anything about how it got in there, right? I think it's, as much as those people have those attributes, we need to be vigilant about spreading love and positivity and just good energy and honesty and truth with one another, because I think that it'll help those individuals to create better social habits. And once they realize that we live in a world where they don't have to do all of those like toxic toxic things, they don't have to do all of those toxic things to feel like powerful or to feel seen or to feel like they are part of the system. Because sometimes people will be like, oh, well, you know me, I'm just an asshole. And you're like, fuck you. You don't have to be an asshole. You are making the decision to be that every time. Again, I do not have a single fuck for how it happened. I mean, I take that back. I do have sympathy. But I understand that if you're an adult now, you can take responsibility to recognize those behaviors and use your energy to uplift people instead of abuse people with your toxic energy. And again, that is my tangent and that is my rant on that. Thanks for joining my TED Talk. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be finished with today because I am just building up this muscle, and we went for an hour and 20 minutes today. I think my other one was like 118. So let me double check here just to see. Let's see here. We're gonna double check to see what this other video length was. Let's see. Oh, it says uploads, live streams. Oh, this one was 121:59. So it's basically a minute and 22 seconds. Or an hour and 22 seconds. And this one is at an hour and 21 seconds. So I guess I'll just use this last little bit of time to wrap up. Again, this is what we colored today. Boop. And if you want these, hit me up in the DMs or email me at angelique.com. Oh, my battery is dying. It's worth it. Angelique.com, angeliqueart@gmail.com. And I will send you one of these masterpieces. You guys got to get in on this early work. This is stuff that's worth the most money. I'm just telling you. That's how it works usually. I'm excited to be starting up my creative restoration sessions and offering this space to any artists that need some studio time but maybe can't afford your own studio, or you feel like you don't want to studio alone, or you just want to have a little time to come kick it and be creative around some other creative folks, then definitely come on over. Again, you can email me at angeliqueart@gmail.com. That is ANGELIQUEART@gmail.com. I'm also, let's see what else. The other creative as far as these creative conversations go, I've been talking to some of my tribe members, and I've been letting them know that I feel some relationship. I feel like a little romance in these streets. So I am going to be offering this as not a couple session, a singles session, so people can kind of come and get to know each other and do something creative and all of those types of cool things. And maybe find a little boo thing. Maybe I'll find a little boo thing. I was just watching Mac Does It on YouTube, and he was watching these videos that people were like, you should react to this. And one of them was this voiceover, this voiceover recreation of the old school Cinderella cartoon animation. And it was just so funny. It was so funny. It was so like old school YouTube. I forgot I was gonna even say about it because I just keep thinking about how funny it was. Shoot, what was I about to say about Cinderella? Dang, I lost that thought. What was I about to say about Cinderella? What was I talking about? We're talking about brain doing things, talking, saying words out of my mouth. It'll come to me. But I have passed my time here, and unless Vanessa tells me in the comments here what it is I was talking about, then I'm gonna just take that as a sign that I need to stop talking. Dang, Angelique, I was like, yeah, I was watching Mac, and he was talking about something. I'm over it. Oh, being seen. Oh. See, there I go again. I was talking about the restoration sessions and being single. But it doesn't even matter with that story anymore. Because I'm not even going to go into it. I'll just start thinking about the video again. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. But these creative restoration sessions are definitely created and curated to put you in an empowering space and an encouraging space and a relaxed space and open space. And I think that is a great place to meet someone who may be interested in the same things that you're interested in and might want to do things with you sometimes, and who's weird might match your weird. I don't know. Excuse me. I'm also open to doing them virtually, so be on the lookout for that. Thank you, Vanessa, for the reminder of what I was talking about, because my brain just was literally like, just like, what happened? I started laughing. You gotta go watch it. It's hilarious. It really reminded me of like old school YouTube, which is like the randomest ish that people could compilate and put on the internet. It was a chef kiss. But yeah, I'm going to sign off. Thank you for joining me today on this live stream. We got to like an hour and a half today, so a little bit more every day. Do like another minute or two, and we'll be up to 4 hours in no time. I promise you that, because that's literally how it works. Just showing up and doing a little bit better each time, doing a little bit more, doing a little bit more each time. So yeah, my name is Angelique the Artist. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Am I streaming tomorrow? I believe so, but I do have to work tomorrow afternoon from like 2 to 5-ish. So I should be here like 6 o'clock. But don't quote me, okay? Just show up and support me. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. But yeah, I love you. Stay blessed, stay inspired, stay magical. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Oh wait. Thanks, Vanessa. I love you.